There are only a few artists in Nigerian music who can genuinely be called pioneers, and Wande Coal is one of them. Long before Afrobeats became a global movement, he was already shaping the sound that many artists enjoy today. His melodies, songwriting, and vocal ability have influenced an entire generation, including artists like Wizkid. But the question today is simple. Can Wande Coal still make an album that sounds fresh in today's Afrobeats landscape, or is King Coal simply another project built on nostalgia? After listening to the album from beginning to end, I think I have the answer. If you're new to CriticBux, this is where we go beyond the hype and break down music from a creative perspective. If that's the kind of content you enjoy, subscribe to the channel and let's get into it. One thing I have always admired about Wande is that he has never been limited to one sound. While many people know him for making Afrobeats classics, he has also consistently shown that he is one of the finest R&B singers Nigeria has ever produced. Instead of creating an album filled with one style of music, Wande combines different shades of Afrobeats with smooth R&B records to create a project that feels balanced. It is an album that tries to satisfy long-time fans while also connecting with a younger audience that may only know him through recent collaborations. The interesting thing is that it never feels like he is trying too hard to sound young. He simply sounds like himself. The emotional side of King Coal appears almost immediately. The album opens with feelings, and I think that was a smart decision. The record is built around soft R&B production that allows Wande's vocals to do most of the work. Rather than relying on loud drums or catchy dance rhythms, the song focuses on melody and emotion. Listening to it reminds you that Wande Coal's voice is still one of the strongest instruments in Nigerian music.
I love you dearly, I see it clearly.
Another song that continues that direction is Dearly, featuring King Madi. I already reviewed this song when it was released as a single, and hearing it again within the context of the album makes even more sense. King Madi brings a youthful freshness, while Wande Coal provides experience and vocal maturity. Neither artist overshadows the other, and together they create one of the smoothest songs on the project. These two records immediately establish that King Coal is not just trying to make dance music. It also wants listeners to slow down and appreciate melody. Once the emotional side of the album has been established, Wande Coal gradually shifts into more energetic records. Songs like Gesemomi, featuring Ruga and Benson, introduce contemporary Afrobeats with clear Amapiano influences. It is the kind of song that naturally fits today's playlist, but what I appreciate is that Wande never loses his identity. That is something many veteran artists struggle with. Some begin copying younger musicians until they no longer sound like themselves. Others refuse to evolve and end up sounding outdated. Wande Coal manages to find a middle ground. He embraces modern production while keeping the melodies and vocal style that have always defined his music. That balance is one of the reasons this album works. If there is one area where King Coal consistently impresses me, it is the production. The producers did not settle for one formula. Instead, they explored different musical influences while keeping the album connected. One of the best examples is 6 featuring LAZ. The production carries strong EDM and disco influences, but Wande's Yoruba delivery transforms the song into something that also carries a Fuji feeling. That combination is creative because it doesn't sound forced. It feels natural. Another production highlight is Dem Go Pay. The instrumental draws inspiration from southeastern Nigerian folk rhythms, adding another flavor to the album. In a period where many Afrobeat songs are beginning to sound similar, records like this help King Coal stand out. The production gives listeners something different without making the album feel disconnected. One song that immediately caught my attention is Money, featuring Dero. The production has a modern Afro-fusion bounce that reminds me of the direction artists like Rema have made popular. However, Wande Coal still makes the record feel like his own. I honestly believe this song has strong commercial potential. It has the melody, the rhythm and the replay value needed to become one of the album's biggest songs. Another track I enjoyed is Balenciaga. This may not become the biggest chart hit, but I think it has something equally important: longevity. The mid-tempo groove makes it one of those songs that people will continue enjoying long after the excitement around the album begins to fade. Then we have Crime. For me, this is one of the best vocal performances on the entire project. This song reminds listeners why Wande Coal has remained respected for so many years. His voice carries genuine emotion, and the melodies feel effortless. Sometimes great music is not about complicated production. Sometimes it is simply about an artist understanding exactly how to communicate emotion. That is what happens on Crime. Another thing I appreciate about King Cole is the guest list. The album includes collaborations with King Madi, Ruga, Benson, Tiwa Savage, Fido, Dero, and Wizkid. The important thing is that none of these artists dominate the project. Every feature feels intentional. Each guest contributes something unique while allowing Wande Coal to remain the center of attention. That is exactly how collaborations should work. I also like that this album is not obsessed with creating one viral TikTok hit. Instead, Wande Coal focuses on building a complete body of work. Some songs will naturally perform better commercially than others, but the overall listening experience remains enjoyable because of the variety in production, the quality of the songwriting, and Wande Coal's consistently strong vocal performances.
With no questions.
Could there have been a few more unforgettable moments? Yes. Some listeners may also prefer either the R&B side or the Afrobeat side depending on their personal taste. But I don't think those things take away from the overall quality of the project. That confidence is something only experienced musicians possess. Overall, I think King Cole is another reminder that Wande Coal still deserves to be part of conversations about Nigeria's greatest musicians. Now I want to hear your opinion. What's your favorite song on the album? Do you think Wande Coal delivered one of the best Nigerian albums of the year, or were you expecting something more? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, leave a like, subscribe to CriticBux, and share this video with someone who loves great music.
Money no stress.